Hi guys, so good morning. Today is the morning of my brokering and chartering examination, and I just came upon this question here that I've never seen before. And with this type of question, it might throw some people off because we've never gotten a paper like this. So you know the drill. Go ahead and screenshot the question that I put at the start of the video and use your laptop and your phone to go ahead and do this calculation with me. So you can screenshot it on your phone and watch a video on your laptop or vice versa. So I already started this calculation, and as you can see from the screenshot, it is set up a bit different because it gave you the days that the vessel stayed in port. And we're doing question 3, guys, for voyage estimation. So it gave you the days that we stayed in port, which is 5 days in Kingston and then 6 days in Houston. But it didn't give the days at sea. So as we would normally do is we use the nautical miles divided by the knots, and we just times it by 24 because we're doing it's 24 hours in the day, right? It's just a rule of thumb that you need to know. So this question didn't even ask us to get the total voyage time. That wasn't a question for us to do, but we need the total voyage time to do the questions that were asked of us, right? So I went ahead and I found the nautical miles, which is 4,032, and the vessel was at a speed of 21 knots, and I times that by 24. So therefore the days at sea is 8 days. And as I said in the question, the days at port would be 5 days in Kingston plus 6 days in Houston. So total days in port is 11 days, and then the total voyage time would then turn out to be 19 days, right? Because 8 and 11, 19. Okay, so let's get down to business. The first thing that they asked us for is to calculate your voyage expenses. And you already know that the voyage expenses are... Okay, so I normally do the cost of fuel first, then the port charges. So sorry for the background noise, guys. I'm on dorm right now. So IMO at sea, MDO at sea, MDO at port. And you see why it's important that we found how many days they spent at sea. And then you know the drill. I always add my port charges last because that's just how my lecturer taught me, and that's how I do it, right? So IFO at sea, as I said, guys, when you're looking at this question paper, it's set up completely different than what we're used to. So IFO at sea, it's near the heading that says fuel consumption. So 75 tons, and it went at a rate of 176. And how many days we spent at sea? We spent 8 days at sea. Then we're doing the first MDO, which is 5.5 times the MDO rate is $155 times the same 8 days that we spent at sea. And then the MDO in port, we normally have 2 MDOs, right? I already taught you guys this in the last video. So the last MDO is 4.5 tons per day, and the rate at which that fuel is 155. And you multiply that by the amount of days you stayed in port, which is 11 days, right? And we go ahead and add our port expenses, which is $21,600 plus 18,500. So I'm just gonna add that and come back. Okay, so this is the answer that we get for our voyage expenses. Then we're gonna go ahead and do our net freight, which is our freight as agreed minus our brokerage commission. So freight as agreed, you know that you look out for the freight rate on the question, and you look how many cargoes is being loaded. So here we see 24,000 tons of grains. So we're going to take that 24,000 and multiply it by the freight rate, which is $33. And then we minus the brokerage commission here, which is actually 3% of this 24,000 times $33. So I'll be right back. All right, so this is how this is the answer that we got. So 3%, so 24,000 times 33 is 792,000. Then we're gonna get 3% of this 792,000 in your calculator. You would just put 3 divided by 100 multiplied by 792,000. You get the 23,760. And you go ahead and you subtract and you get this answer. Now we're going to move on to the gross profit that was asked for. Okay, so the next question asks us for gross profit, which is your net freight minus voyage expenses. Remember, you already got your voyage expenses and you've also gotten your net freight. So this one is pretty simple. So 786, 240 minus 160, 192.5. Okay, so this is the answer that we got. I remember, as I told you guys, when we're talking about profit, when we're talking about freight, these are all dollar signs. So if you get cents, you need to, that's why I don't put three decimal place if I happen to get it, because we're talking about money actually. So you see, this voyage time, this is why it was important for us to get the total voyage time, right? Because we're going to need it. So your gross profit, we already got that, which is 608,047. I have to remember that's dollar signs over the total 19 days that you spent throughout the voyage, right? So I already have this in my calculator here. So divide by 19. That gives us 32,002.50. All right, so that's our gross daily profit. Okay, so now we're gonna do our net daily profit, which is your daily profit minus your running costs. And on this question, look on the question paper again, guys. Oh, this is actually an exam question, in case I didn't explain that to you. This was a final exam paper in 2018. So we already have our gross daily profit, right? We're going to take that from the running cost. On this question paper, the running cost is 13,000 per day. And remember that these are US figure, guys. The shipping industry utilizes the US dollar. So on the question paper, if you haven't seen it yet, it's called daily operation cost, DOPC, or running cost. So we just need to calculate this right now. 32,002.5 minus 13,000. So that leaves us with $19,002.50. All right. Okay, so in this question, it asks us for total voyage profit. This is the same as your total voyage cost. If you haven't watched the previous video, go ahead and watch it. All right, so it's the same thing, because it's your total running cost plus your voyage expenses. So we're going to take the running cost, which is $13,000. You're going to multiply that by the total days that you spend, which is 19 days. Then you're going to go ahead and add that to your voyage expenses, right? So 160,192.50. All right, so we're finishing right now. Your answer is $407,192.50. So this question, guys, I wish you all the best and have fun.